Yo, what's up, guys? It's Danny here, and today's video is going to be about laziness and how it ruined my life. So, in my other video, I talked about how gaming addiction ruined my life, and it's true. Like, it's still happening to this day, and it still hasn't resolved on its own, mostly because I still am the same old person. I'm lost, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, and I don't really know where I'm going with my life. I've lost a lot of friends. I've been exiled from a lot of friend groups. I've been betrayed. I've been I've been just not feeling okay. I've been getting sick. And that's mostly because of one of my coworkers who coughed at me. I think. I don't know if it was purpose on accident. I think it was mostly on purpose. But I was like, bro, I can't believe I got sick. But yeah, so that's why I haven't been uploading recently. And that's I know that's kind of an excuse, but it's not an excuse if unless like if I have like a sore throat, then yeah, obviously I should you know I have to take a week off from making videos. But now I'm back. I'm trying to become the same or not the same person, but I'm trying to become a different person than I usually was. I was shy. I was introverted. I rather keep things to myself, and I only get my energy back whenever I'm doing things alone. That's mostly because of the environment I was given. I don't like going to parties. I don't like vaping. I don't like doing drugs. Like those are seen as something that's socially desirable, but that's the initial impression of it. The impressions are the ones that makes it seem delightful. But once you realize the research and the negative drawbacks from doing drugs, alcohol, and vape, you kind of realize that these are just additions of poisons to your body. Alcohol damages your liver. Vape damages your lungs. So like what's the point of doing drugs and alcohol if it's all going to harm you in the long run? So that's the reason why I don't do those. But anyway, this video isn't about drugs or alcohol. This video is about laziness, right? So I've been feeling lazy mostly because I haven't been feeling ambitious. YouTube, I feel like I'm not going anywhere. I'm making a little progress one by one, but the videos doesn't seem to go anywhere. I keep looking at the numbers. I keep being fixated at these statistics. Like I feel like I'm not doing anything good. Like I'm not doing anything sort of high achievement guy. Like I want to see some improvements. I like to see some growth, but then I gotta realize that YouTube is not for the short term. YouTube is for the long term. It's about consistency and also dedication. Like Marcus Aurelius, this guy wanted to be in bed. He wanted to be under the sheets and just sleep comfortably without doing anything. But then he realizes that he has a ultimate purpose in life. There's a reason why bees and the beetles, the flies, and the what else, the insects, they're collecting the pollens and then making honey and all that stuff. They're creating order, basically. They're trying to help the world rebalance itself. So why is this an excuse for me to not do anything? There is some sort of thing that I have to do every day, and whether it's doing something or nothing, you know, I have to do something. There's no point in me doing nothing because I'm basically choosing comfortability, and I'm just choosing to waste my time in order to not do anything beneficial to the common good. I'm not providing any sort of benefit. And the thing that I hate about myself is that I keep making excuses even though I am the only one that is responsible. And an example of this is when my mom, she basically gave me a doctor's appointment early in the morning around like 9 a.m. And that was like very early for me. And, I was like okay with it because, I can technically still wake up at 9 a.m. with an alarm. So, I didn't place an alarm because I thought doctor's appointment are not necessary, and I was basically doing fine. I was basically healthy at some point, or I don't know. But anyways, like a month later, I skipped that doctor's appointment on purpose, and I played video games throughout the night. And this was during high school again. So yeah. So anyways, I was having shoulder problems, and that's when I realized that okay, I need to check a doctor's appointment right now because it's been hurting for like a solid week. And then I got a blood work test, and they saw that I got vitamin D deficiency. So basically, it means like I'm not getting a lot of sunlight, and I'm gonna be prone to bone aches or bone stiffness or something like that. And there's gonna be a reduced um time for me to sleep. So like I'm gonna be like insomniac. I'm gonna have a lot of insomnia. Trouble going to sleep. So that's where I have to really focus on my health and control that. So yeah, I kind of regret not going to a doctor's appointment early, especially because they could have helped me, and I could have actually avoided a lot of problems with my health if I actually check out a doctor. And another example is that I work 5 days in a week, right? And I could have used those 2 free days in that week to make a video. And I chose not to because again, I needed to kill some time. I just felt bored. I felt exhausted. I felt fatigued. And I didn't have the energy to say, like, to talk to anyone, but I did have some energy. I did have some energy to play games. And even though if I played games, I could have still made a video and used that time properly to not waste time. And Seneca, he said it that we are wasting time. We are exchanging time to do certain things and to seek rewards, right? So we need to like be mindful of what we are doing. We're spending time on specific things, but are they essential things? And so what I'm doing was not essential. I was basically playing for leisure. I was playing for nothing. I was just not playing for any sort of benefit. I was just playing for my benefit was basically enjoyment, but that enjoyment was short, fleeting. It wasn't something that was long term. I was basically trying to play games to feel euphoric, to feel satisfied, but it never felt satisfying. So yeah, I think that's the reason why I kept on playing games, because I was feeling bored. I was mentally checked out. I was mentally fatigued, and I needed some sort of socialization, and that's my socialization, is just playing games and talking to people that I play with, especially online friends. But then I gotta realize that those online friends aren't really friends. Are they really? I mean, yeah, they're friends, but like they're just people that I play with, but they're not someone that makes me better overall as a human being. They're not the best people, the kind of right people that I'm trying to associate with. And ultimately we become who we are based on our habits and the people that we associate with. And that's a fact no matter what. So to keep it short, life isn't about avoiding the thunderstorms. It's about learning how to dance in rain. Ha ha ha. Very funny. I got that from a TikToker. But anyways, yeah, laziness is ultimately a deadly sin that we go through, right? We don't want to do certain things, and that's completely fine, but keep it in moderation. Laziness should be when you are wanting to seek leisure at a reasonable time, right? So in a certain place and moment of your life, you want to, relax a bit, then yeah, go ahead. Go, watch a movie, but don't keep on over consuming. Keep it on a minimum, moderation. Whatever keeps your life balanced, stick to that type of habit. So moderation is key. Laziness will ultimately become a vice if it's not handled properly. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening to this video, and I hope to make more consistent weekly upload schedules. So expect to see one video each week. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a good one. See ya.